Let's play hockey! All right, it's late November, well, not even late November, mid-November. It's like November 14th. Got a couple inches of snow, and in the forecast, we've got days in the teens and even below. So I'm gonna get going on the rink. And I've already laid out everything. I've got it as level as I think I'm gonna get it, at least for this year. And then I think we're gonna put our first little layer of water down tonight. So that will be super fun. But here's a look at what I got. So what I'm doing right now is I'm pushing a lot of the snow that was kind of inside the rink to the outer edge of the inside of the rink, and then I'm stomping on it. It's still warm, tacky snow, so it's kind of creating a little barrier. You can kind of see right there. I'm just trying to basically firm up the boards. I know that tonight is supposed to be cold, so this should freeze in place. Some of it will probably melt, which is a good thing because we don't want it to be too bunched up along the boards. And then I'm gonna scoop out whatever's in the middle here, where the kids are. So the rest of that will get scooped out and put around the outside to basically do the same thing, but on the outside. So making progress. It's exhausting though. 30 degrees is hot when you're working this hard. All right, I'm on a little bit of damage control here because I put the tarp on. As you can see, the tarp is on, which is kind of a pain in the butt, especially as a one-man job. If you can have another person help you, it helps a ton. But I put all the metal clips around. Got a little windy last night, came out and like a bunch of clips had flung off and the tarp was kind of twisted. So I came out and I got that all fixed, but clearly the little clips are not really very strong. And so what we're gonna do is put these guys, the little noodles. You can just buy ones made for the rink. These are literally just pool noodles. But we're gonna put these on the top and hope that it holds the clips a little bit stronger. So that's what I'm doing right now. Lesson learned, if you put your tarp on a little bit ahead of time before you flood, like in this case, I probably set it all up like 5 days before I'm actually gonna flood. Prepare for wind to pick that up. So maybe I'll put down a little light layer tonight just to hold it in place, but start putting some noodles on. All right, we got the noodles on. So yeah, again, those are just literally just pool noodles that the previous owner of the rink, I bought the rink used. He bought those, put a slit down on them, and now we put them on top of the rink. So it actually not only looks cool, but it does help the clips stay in place. And we're gonna start filling up here soon. All right, hey everybody. So I was planning on flooding today for the first time, but ran into some problems. Not huge ones, but I left my hoses outside this fall, thinking they were empty. There was no residual water or anything in there, but turns out I was wrong. And turned the water on, no water came out. And so I think there's still some ice in there. So I'm in my studio here. I've got the hose and I'm going to let it sit in here and thaw out. Hopefully it'll be good for me to either do tonight or first thing tomorrow, because it's like perfect weather. It's sunny, it's cold. It's gonna warm up a little bit to mid-30s next week, so I'd like to get a couple layers of ice down here while I can. But anyways, so any advice I have for you, it's make sure your hoses are warm before you hook them up, because I just assumed that there was no water in them and I was wrong. And then the other thing is get the really flimsy, pliable hose. Not like the old school stiff hose, because in the cold, those things, they get so stiff. But the yellow, like, I think they're called like Gorilla hose or something like that. They're like super flexy. Those are the best ones. Ezra, what are we doing out here today? Look, you gotta look at the camera. What are we doing today?
The hockey rink.
What are we doing?
Flood the hockey rink.
We're flooding the hockey rink?
Yeah.
So what does that mean? What are we gonna have to do? We gotta hook the hose up.
We gotta pick the hose up and put water.
Yep, awesome. Now what are you going to grab?
My sled and my scooter.
Perfect. All right, and so it begins, the long process of flooding and the moment of truth to see how unlevel this actually is. We always laugh, all my buddies who do this too. We're like, you never really understand how unlevel your yard is till you put water in it. It will show you. We'll see. I'm guessing it's gonna take probably till night to fill. This is a 20 by 40, so keep you posted. Hawkins.
Eating the pugs.
Hawkins, say go!
Go.
Quit eating Kaprizov's head. All right, a little update. So we're coming up on about 45 minutes of flooding. I'm actually shocked. I think it's going to be fairly level. It's definitely going to one side more than any of the others. This corner here is gathering the most, which I expected, but it's starting to freeze, which tells me it's slowing down in that corner, starting to fill in other spots. So right now, the hardest part is just keeping leaves out. I put it in an area that's mostly evergreens for the sole purpose that we wouldn't have to deal with leaves, but we haven't had enough snow to kind of keep all the dead leaves off the ground. So heavy wind, they're blowing all over the place, but overall pretty satisfied. And we're gonna head to a hockey game, watch our friend Jess coach, and let this run probably. Hopefully we don't come back to like a basement full of water or something, but pretty happy so far. Keep you posted. All right, I got these light post holders on Amazon. Right here. So I just hammered it in, took basically a big block, hammered it in a couple inches, and then spun it. Just digs right in. Those are about 35 bucks a piece on Amazon, and this thing is solid as can be. So my plan is to just find a short, probably like 8-foot post, and put one in this corner and then one on the opposite corner. And we should have sufficient light for this thing because it's not huge. So pretty excited to get that set up too. So I'm gonna hammer in the second one. All right, just giving you guys an update. We got a warm front that came through. It's supposed to be kind of in the low to mid 30s here for the next few days. But we've pretty much got the whole thing flooded. There's maybe one corner. The high side is just not quite filled yet. But overall, fairly satisfied with how level it is. We've got, looks like there it is right there. Got probably another 6 to 8 inches to go over there. And then this is the only corner where we don't have water yet. So, but overall, like I said, I'm pretty satisfied. We'll keep you posted. Next up is I am going to build the lights. Went out and got some really nice posts yesterday to get that done. And check it out. We're gonna go build some lights. All right, guys, today we are building the lights for the rink. And a couple tips I have for that. So I wasn't really sure what piping I was gonna get or what conduit. So I went to the fence section for chain link fence rails. Those were, I think, like 20 bucks per, and they were 10 feet. So not a bad deal at all. And then I stumbled over to the electric area of Home Depot, and I found conduit, and it was a lot thicker gauge, so a little bit more sturdy. And those were like 30 bucks for 10 feet. So I just went with those instead because they're a little bit more hardcore. So here it is. I got 1 1/4 inch. I figured that'd be strong enough. My plan is to take these and just use these bad boys right here, mount some wood to the poles, and then I'm gonna screw the lights to the wood. So we'll see how it works out. The only mistake I've made so far is I don't have enough extension cord, so that's gonna be my next purchase. Here we go. All right, we got the lights mounted. We were short a few bumpers for the top, and rather than order the ones on Easy Rink or Nice Rinks were the cheapest, but for $30 worth of bumpers, it was $60 to ship. So I went to Amazon, I found some pool noodles. I think we got 5 of them for like 25 bucks or something. And a utility knife right down the center, splits them pretty easy, and I'm just gonna use those for now. So I don't expect that they'll last a long time. They'll probably start to fall apart, especially once the weather hits. But as long as we can get through this season, we should be good for ordering some real bumpers next year. So as you can tell, our weather has changed. We got about 6 to 8 inches of snow today. Good news is, got the lights up, and it's looking primo. Pumped. Hey guys. So I'm out of breath. My nups. My lips are also numb because it's freaking cold out. So where are we at? It's looking pretty good. It warmed up a lot, snowed about 8 inches, kind of made a mess out of everything, but I was able to, once it got cold enough, go back out and kind of shovel off the top layer of snow, and then it exposed all the kind of slush underneath to at least the freezing temperature. So it got hard enough to where I could go out and shovel it. Once you got snow on top, it acts as a really good insulator, and anything down below that is not going to freeze. So you got to get that snow off as fast as you can. But I went out there today with my shovel and I was being as gentle as I could. I caught the edge of the shovel, and it's a plastic. I was very, very careful. But I caught it on a part of the tarp and it made it like probably an 1.5 inch cut. So I'm gonna try something. We have a bounce house. Let's see if we got what we need in here. Open it up. All right. Here's our little kit. Let's see if we got a little patch kit here. Oh, I got one. Lifesaver. All right, let's find this hole. There it is. All right, there's the hole. It's probably like 1.5 inches, 2 inches. This little thing should hopefully do the trick. There it is. I have no idea if this is gonna work. I'm kind of worried that once it gets too much weight on it's gonna give, but only one way to find out. Ezra, where are we going?
To go skating.
Where are we going skating?
On our rink outside.
Outside? Ready? Oh, nice. How's that for service? Oh, I almost fell on my butt, Manny. There it is. We've concluded our video on building a rink in the yard. I wanted a rink in my backyard my entire life, and so for me to be able to do this for my kid, it's really special. And we are out here, I'm not kidding you, every single day, and it's just fun. We've become a place for people to make memories, and we've had one skating party already. In fact, we've got a friend of ours coming over here today to learn how to skate for his first time. He's a 3-year-old. And I played hockey with his dad growing up, so this is a special place to make some really amazing memories. And if you have the space to do something like this, you absolutely should do it. So people are always talking about how difficult it is to make one of these and upkeep it. I haven't had that experience. I think it's actually been relatively simple, and even if it were, you know, a little more work than what mine is, I think the memories that you make out here are just priceless. So this is the stuff that we'll talk about forever. And my kid loves skating out here. So if you guys have questions on how we built it, process, things we'd change, feel free to have a conversation in the comments. Otherwise, we'll see ya. I gotta play Wild vs. Penguins. Let's play hockey! All right, boys. Have a good game. All right, so per this hockey video, got a lot of people asking me about this little bad boy over here. That's the igloo. There'll be another video coming up right after this, all about how I built that. And while it's not perfect, it still works. It's our warming house. And I'll share all the things that I did right and all the things that I did wrong.